Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alexa and welcome to my first trimester update. So this is going to be the first of many updates. I'm going to try to do an every other week sort of schedule and kind of keep you guys updated on how the pregnancy is going, how things are changing, etc, etc. Unfortunately, during my first trimester, I was pretty much like out for the count. I was non-existent in life. So I'm just giving this update sort of after the fact. I'm currently 14 weeks. I'm about to be 15 weeks in a few days. So starting at 15 weeks, I'm going to be giving updates every other week, but for now, this is the video that's going to be an update of my first trimester. Basically from week 4, which is when I found out, to week 13-ish, 14 maybe. I don't really know when the first trimester ends. Some places I've seen that week 13 is considered the end. Whatever it is, I will be giving you an update from week 4 to week 13. And then next week we will start with the updates starting with week 15, and then we will go every other week from there. So I have memories, I know kind of what it was like, where I was at, all those things. Okay, starting from week 4. Week 4 is when I found out I was pregnant. I have a whole video on that if you want to see when I found out I was pregnant and when I told my fiance. I will link it up above, whichever place. I don't remember which side is right. This side? By the way, before I get into this video, I'm not really going to go into depth about anything super, but I guess if young kids are watching, maybe don't watch? I don't know. So at week 4, I didn't really feel any symptoms. I just knew that I had missed my period, and I decided to take a pregnancy test. I really didn't have symptoms at that point, but week 5 is when my symptoms started. And the first thing that I noticed week 5 was one of my favorite places to eat of all time is Chipotle. I love Chipotle, and I could not eat a single bite of Chipotle. Sean had bought us both Chipotle, and I was so upset. I tried to eat it, and every time I was like literally so disgusted by it. It was the worst feeling ever because I know how much I love it, but that was definitely like the first symptom that I really noticed, was that I couldn't eat Chipotle or any Mexican food for that matter. We had been ordering like takeout from several places, and I could not eat any sort of Mexican food or Chipotle or anything like that, and it just was like the very first symptom that set in. And then by week 6 was when more symptoms started to come. Week 6, I was starting to feel very fatigued, and I noticed especially because on my days off, I would sleep like 18 to 20 hours of the day. I would only get up to like go to the bathroom and eat, and that was it. I would not be able to stay awake. I was so physically exhausted. Even at work, I remember just struggling, like straight up struggling through the workday. It was not a good thing. Also, that's also when my nausea really started. I actually never had morning sickness throughout this pregnancy, but I got really nauseous for certain foods. So foods like broccoli, cauliflower, pretty much any sort of vegetable, like even salad, sort of thing that was very like leafy and green and vegetable-y. It made me really nauseous, to the point where like sometimes when I was eating, I would be like pacing back and forth in the bathroom because I thought I was gonna throw up so much. Like it was, I'm surprised that I never actually threw up like more than once, because there were times where I would just be pacing by the bathroom because I was convinced that I was going to. But thank God I did not. I mostly survived on fruit at that time. I ate a lot of apples. I ate a lot of bananas, because fruit, but for some reason, while vegetables like made me extremely ill, fruit was like my saving grace that helped me feel less nauseous every time I ate it. So I ate a lot of fruit in the first trimester, which I love fruit anyway, so it wasn't that much of a sacrifice, but yeah. So at 7 weeks, that was one of the only times during that period of my life where I actually picked up the camera, and so I actually have an update that I filmed around that time, and I will just play it now. Okay, so quick little update on pregnancy symptoms It's currently week 7. So I'm 7 weeks pregnant currently, and the baby is the size of a blueberry. This is apparently what it kind of looks like right now, which it doesn't really look like a human, but it's whatever. In 2 weeks, I have my first ultrasound to see if little guy's doing okay. Symptoms-wise, the biggest thing for me, honestly, is the fatigue. Holy crap, am I tired. And I feel like I can't even tell anybody that I'm so tired because they'll be like, why are you so tired? But I have been sleeping, especially on my days off, I feel like I sleep at least like 15 to 20 hours, which is kind of ridiculous. Sean is like, are you kidding me? I've never seen somebody sleep this much. I had so much stuff I've wanted to get done, and I wanted to continue with my filming schedule. I wanted to get things set up for summer, like big things that were coming. I wanted to work on a lot of stuff, essentially, because I have so much free time that I normally would not have. And I'm just so physically exhausted. It's unreal. And even when I'm not physically exhausted, it's like even when I'm not sleeping, it feels like I want to be sleeping at work all day. I'm so exhausted. Another thing, I just have these random cravings, which I didn't know like what my cravings, I always wondered what I would crave. And I went through like a week of only wanting pretty much just pickles. And then now it's more so like ice cream and like the sweeter things, like fruit really helps my stomach, so I just have been eating a ton of fruit. But yeah, it's just super random, I think, honestly, right now. It's nothing like super specific other than ice cream and pickles. But other than that, I'm pretty sure that's all I have to update you on. I will probably see you guys next time on my appointment day because we are going to get an ultrasound. So by week 8, after that update, by week 8, I had noticed that my chest had grown quite a bit. I had to invest in new bras by that point, and they were like in pain, but like not the worst pain that I've ever had, but it was pretty painful. So that was the major thing of week 8, but by that point, most of my symptoms were just constant exhaustion, constant nausea, constant boob pain. I just was, the biggest one that was the absolute worst was exhaustion, because I felt like when we went into quarantine, I started really focusing on trying to like do a lot of stuff. When it hit and I got pregnant and I was exhausted, it just like, I felt like I wasn't even myself, because I felt like I couldn't function as a human being, and that was really hard. And the hardest part of all was hiding it from everyone, because I couldn't really explain to people, like, I'd be like, at work, I'd be like, oh, I'm really tired or something, and people would be like, oh yeah, me too. I'm like, no, you're not really tired. I'm really tired, I'm pregnant, and I'm dying inside. Or like, I would, even like, for example, I went over to my parents' house, I forget for what, maybe for my dad's birthday or something, but I went over to my parents' house and had dinner there, and all the food was making me incredibly nauseous. I could barely eat any of it, and my mom noticed, but she didn't actually know at that point that I was pregnant, so my mom noticed, and I had to like finish my plate of food even though I was literally dying inside, which was fine, but at the same time, it was like, it was hard when only Sean and I knew and nobody else did, because it was just like a struggle. Like, it was, not being able to tell people was a struggle. But then at my 9 weeks, I went and had my 9-week appointment, saw the baby for the first time, which I have a video of that, I can link it. And then once I saw the baby for the first time, I was like, holy crap, there's actually a baby in there. I don't know why in my head, like, up until 9 weeks before that ultrasound, I was like, sure, I have symptoms, sure, their pregnancy test says I'm pregnant, but till I see that baby for real with my own 2 eyes, is it really real? Then a couple of hours later, we drove to my mom and dad's house and we told them, and I have a video where I told all my family members, and I can also link that, But it was so nice once I could finally tell people, because I could finally be like, oh my gosh, I am exhausted, I am in pain, I am so nauseous, I'm sorry I can't eat your food. Kind of like a relief to get it off my chest. Because it felt like a big secret at that point, because I'd been keeping it for like 2 months, and that's a long time to keep a secret. Anyways, weeks 10 through 12 were pretty much the same as before. All my symptoms were either the same or getting slightly worse, and then week 13 hit, and throughout week 13 I could notice my energy slowly coming back, and nausea began to disappear. And then into week 14, which I just had, pretty much no symptoms at all. I feel much better. I feel like I'm finally like out of the woods. I feel like I have energy. I can stay up late. I can do what I want. I feel like I have a little bit of control in my life. So that's kind of my first trimester update. I don't really have any more notes written down. I wish I would have filmed a little bit more like updates week to week of kind of where I was at, I guess. But it's okay. It is what it is, and I was really tired, so I really don't hold it against myself. But anyways, I will see you guys next week. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!